YouTuber Trevor Jacob is facing potentially 20 years in prison for pleading guilty on intentionally crashing his plane. Guys, I watched this video, like the actual YouTube video, and this guy strapped up GoPros and other video recording equipment onto this plane. As you can see in this photo, there's one on the wing, there's one on the back of the plane. And what this guy did was just a little backstory on Trevor Jacob. He is not retired, but he is a pro snowboarder. He used to snowboard, and he transitioned into doing YouTube, making content, maybe like a Mr. Beast, okay, doing these outrageously crazy, death-defying stunts. So this guy, for sponsorship, for money, obviously, for views, for clout, he ends up taking this plane and he safely crashes it. And what I mean by safely is my guy jumped the fuck right out of the plane while it's up in the air. He had a parachute on and jumps out this shit mid-flight, as you can see in that photo, and he literally lets the plane just drift off into the side of a mountain. It wasn't a gigantic explosion of an event, right? I didn't see nothing so crazy. All you see is these cameras kind of flying all over the place. And essentially, he lies to the people that, are in charge of the planes and the airways and shit like that, and told them, it was a malfunction, the plane crashed, there was nothing that I could do, essentially. And they were like, all right, well, you need to control the wreckage. You have these steps that you need to take. Trevor went ahead and on a helicopter picked up the pieces of the plane, took it to a vineyard that was a couple miles away, and ends up breaking it apart and putting most of it on a bed of a truck and taking it away and throwing away the rest of the pieces and lying to FBI and CIA and whoever else the fuck, Men in Black, Will Smith. And they essentially took this man in because he shouldn't have been crashing a plane. That's wild, right? Like, once you have your pilot's license, there ain't no way that you could be doing this type of shit. My guy is 100%ly going to be facing time. Look, he just pleaded guilty to intentionally crashing his plane. You know what I'm saying? Like, we lose too many lives fucking around in these planes, and here come this guy for the views and the clout. I hate that word, but for the clout, trying to get off and make these money. I mean, I understand. I think that he wrecks Lamborghinis as well. He does all this crazy shit, which I believe is cool, right? But what he's doing is very risky. You jumped out of a fucking plane to let it crash, not knowing where it's gonna go. I mean, what if there's a homeless camp somewhere and you just messed up their whole evening? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They said it was a controlled crash, which means they probably knew where it was going to go. They surveyed the area and they tried to confirm that it would be safe. But, my nigga, you jumped out with a parachute. Ain't shit safe. Ain't shit safe. Yo, Preferred, how my audio sound? This shit look off to me, and I can't even check for real. But yeah, let's see what my boy said, man. We're gonna read this comment. My boy said, Red Bull has millions. Why didn't he coordinate with them to do something on property? He should have got clearance like the guy who jumped from space. Hey, that is a wonderful point, brother. I didn't even think of this being a thing, And for some reason, I feel like this guy was intelligent enough to do something like that. You can't just have your pilot's license jumping out of a plane and have those capabilities like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just no way you could be able to do that type of shit. Oh, thank you, Jolly. Oh, look at that beautiful people. Oh, got people in the chat, man. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so unbelievably so, yeah. I could have definitely seen him jumping out of a fucking plane for Red Bull, and it could have been a whole lot better. It could have been a spectacle, right? Everyone could have watched. He could have got a real check for it, but obviously, Buddy had different plans. He trying to chase the bag in a way that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? He could have definitely hurt somebody and got somebody extremely hurt. You can't just, and this is a nice plane. Come on, you could have sold the plane. Oh, man, that shit crazy. And I like the fact, though, that he was a pro snowboarder, and finding out that fact It's like he's an adrenaline junkie. Obviously, he's the type of person that's trying to do this shit. His goal is to have his blood rushing at every chance he gets, man. But what do you guys think about this guy jumping off the plane? I've always wanted to myself jump out of a plane with a parachute. I don't know about bungee jumping, and I honestly, thinking about it, I don't know about jumping out of a plane. Doesn't seem like that's what I want to be doing. I did my time in the military, so I'm cool with all that. What do you guys think, man? Would you join this YouTuber jumping off a plane? I damn sure wouldn't.